respected friends. I want to start by acknowledging you with the utmost respect today, because I know your time is precious, and I know that wherever you are in life right now, you are seeking guidance, clarity, and inspiration. Life has not been easy for anyone. I know many of you have been struggling with financial decisions, feeling overwhelmed by debt, worried about the future, and questioning whether all your efforts will ever pay off. Some of you have been hurt by failures, by bad choices, by missed opportunities, and by people who promised support but left you disappointed. I see your pain. I feel your frustration. I understand the weight you carry on your shoulders every single day. And I want you to know from the depth of my heart that your struggle is not the end of your story. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. I want to take a moment to share something personal with you. I've spent years studying and learning from the greatest minds in finance and personal development. One speaker who has profoundly inspired me is Myron Golden. His teachings on mindset, wealth, and personal transformation have shaped not only my thinking, but my vision for helping others. And today, I am thrilled to share something very special with you. My team and I are preparing to launch a brand new channel dedicated entirely to finance, wealth building, and personal growth. This channel will bring you the timeless wisdom, lessons, and strategies of one of the most respected voices in finance, Mr. Jim Rohn. Yes, the very same Jim Rohn whose teachings have transformed millions of lives around the world. Our goal is simple: to create content that is practical, motivational, and transformational. We want to give you tools, insights, and strategies that you can immediately apply in your life to start building wealth, achieving financial freedom, and reaching your highest potential. But launching something new requires support. We need your engagement, your comments, your shares, your likes. Every single interaction will help this channel grow and reach people who need this message the most. I want you to be part of this journey, not just as viewers, but as supporters, contributors, and believers in the mission. This channel is not just a platform, it is a movement. It is born out of inspiration, dedication, and a passion to see people succeed. Inspired by the teachings of Myron Golden and fueled by the genius of Jim Rohn, we are committed to bringing you content that is not just motivational, but actionable. We will break down complex financial strategies, provide insights into wealth creation, and share principles that can change your mindset and transform your future. So I ask you today, be part of this journey. Engage, comment, like, and share this video. Help us build a community where financial education meets inspiration, where wisdom meets application, and where transformation is possible for everyone willing to commit to growth together. We can create something extraordinary, something that empowers, motivates, and equips every person watching to step into a brighter, more abundant future. You were hidden, because exposure before preparation would have destroyed you. There are seasons where God intentionally removes visibility from your life, not because you lack value, but because your value is increasing faster than your strength. What you call being overlooked was actually divine covering. God saw what you were asking for before you were ready to carry it. He saw the influence, the responsibility, the pressure, the warfare that would come with public promotion, and he chose to hide you rather than harm you. Hidden seasons are not punishment, they are protection. When God hides someone, he is preserving their future from their present weakness. Exposure reveals skill, but preparation builds capacity. If God had revealed you when you wanted, the weight of expectations would have crushed your faith, your character, and your peace. You would have been applauded by people but abandoned by strength. So God hid you in silence, in obscurity, in places where no one could validate you, so you would learn to stand without applause. He hid you so your identity would be rooted in obedience, not recognition. Many people collapse after promotion because their inner structure was never reinforced in private. God hid you so you could develop endurance, humility, discipline, and discernment. He hid you so rejection wouldn't break you and praise wouldn't intoxicate you. He hid you so your voice would be mature before it became loud. He hid you so you wouldn't confuse attention with assignment. What felt like being forgotten was actually God saying, you are too valuable to be rushed. You were not delayed. You were being strengthened in the dark. Roots grow deepest where no one sees them. And when God finally brings you into visibility, it won't be fragile success. It will be sustainable elevation. Because hidden preparation always produces public stability. The delay wasn't rejection. It was God protecting you from premature promotion. Many people mistake waiting seasons as abandonment, but delay is often God's mercy disguised as frustration. God sees outcomes you can't see. He knows what you would have lost if he had said yes too early. He knows the environments you were not yet strong enough to survive. Premature promotion exposes immature character, and God refuses to reward you with something that will eventually destroy you. Delay refines motives. Delay exposes impatience. Delay reveals whether you want the blessing or the responsibility that comes with it. When God delays, he is adjusting timing, aligning people, rearranging systems, and preparing you internally so that when the door opens, you don't panic inside it. Rejection closes doors, but delay keeps them reserved. Rejection pushes you away, but delay keeps you positioned. God delays because he loves you too much to let you succeed without stability. Many people beg God for acceleration, not realizing acceleration without wisdom leads to collapse. Delay teaches restraint, wisdom, and emotional control. Delay forces you to learn obedience when nothing is exciting. Delay proves whether your faith is dependent on outcomes or anchored in trust. God delayed you because the version of you that existed back then would have mismanaged the favor you are about to carry now. You would have trusted people too quickly, spoken too loosely, moved too emotionally. Delay matured your judgment. Delay sharpened your discernment. Delay slowed you down long enough to build discernment instead of desperation. God was not withholding from you. He was shielding you from unnecessary pain. What you thought was denial was divine prevention. God delayed you because the weight of the calling required a stronger backbone, thicker skin, and deeper roots. And when the promotion finally arrives, it won't feel rushed. It will feel right. God allowed the pain to increase because the shift required a stronger version of you. Pain is not the enemy. It is the tool of transformation. God often allows the intensity of life to rise precisely because he is preparing you for something bigger than you can currently handle. Every disappointment, every heartbreak, every setback has a purpose. Pain stretches you, forces you to confront weakness, and strips away dependency on comfort zones. The shift you are about to experience is too powerful for the person you were yesterday. God cannot release the new season into your hands until he has increased your capacity to hold it. That is why the pressure intensifies. That is why the nights feel longer. That is why the weight seems unbearable. Because God is shaping a stronger version of you. Someone who will not be overwhelmed by promotion. Someone who will not be compromised by success. Someone who will not lose sight of purpose when the door finally opens. The pain you are enduring is not random. It is refining fire. It is burning away the impurities that would have ruined the blessing. It is breaking unhealthy dependencies, false confidence, and shallow relationships so that only what is necessary survives. Many people quit during pain because they mistake the process for punishment. But God is not punishing you. He is positioning you. The struggle is the bridge to your breakthrough, the shadow before your sunrise, the refining that precedes the release. If God relieved the pain too soon, you would not be prepared for the magnitude of the shift. You would carry the blessing without the maturity, the wisdom, or the endurance required to sustain it. Every tear, every disappointment, every lonely moment is building resilience. Every loss is equipping you with discernment. Every failure is teaching humility. Pain is the curriculum God uses to educate the soul for sudden elevation. The greater the pain, the greater the shift, because God does not promote the fragile. He promotes the faithful, the forged, the fortified. And in the midst of suffering, you must remember that the shift you are about to enter demands strength. You cannot manufacture on your own. It requires the power of God, and He is cultivating it in you. What broke your heart was necessary to break your dependence on people. Heartbreak is not meaningless. God allows relationships to fail, opportunities to close, and support to disappear because He wants to teach you ultimate reliance on Him. People will always fail you. Circumstances will always disappoint you. Even your own strength will eventually run out. And if you have not learned to trust God alone, every sudden shift will overwhelm you. Heartbreak exposes where your faith is anchored. It reveals where you have placed your hope, and God uses it to redirect your trust upward. The very thing you begged for from people that never arrived was part of God's plan to show you that the supply comes from heaven. The disappointment, the betrayal, the misunderstanding, the unfulfilled expectation, all of it was breaking your dependence on the temporary so that you could cling to the eternal. Many people carry bitterness from heartbreak, but bitterness is a blockage to breakthrough. God allows heartbreak to break you of the wrong attachments so that your heart can be free to embrace what He is preparing. What seemed devastating was actually liberating. What seemed unfair was actually precise. The doors that closed, the people who left, the relationships that failed, they were all divine pruning to position you for new favor. If you had held on to every failed attachment, you would not have the space to receive the blessing. God removes what you cannot carry so that He can give you what you are ready for. And this is why the shift feels sudden. It seems to come out of nowhere because the preparation, the heartbreak, the pruning were invisible. God does not rush the process, and He does not substitute pain for growth. The heartbreak you endured was necessary to break your dependence on human validation, human comfort, and human provision, so that when the shift comes, you will carry it with strength, independence, and unwavering faith. The silence of heaven was training you to trust God without explanations. There are moments when you pray, when you fast, when you cry out, and yet heaven seems quiet. The lack of visible response is not absence, it is preparation. God's silence is a classroom where faith is tested, patience is developed, and trust becomes deeper than understanding. Many people cannot endure silence because they are addicted to immediate answers, instant validation, and human reassurance. But God is not limited by your timetable. The silence is intentional. It is building your spiritual muscles. It is teaching you to move without seeing, to obey without applause, and to hope without confirmation. When God is silent, He is asking one question: will you still trust me when nothing makes sense? Your obedience in the quiet seasons proves whether your faith is dependent on circumstances or anchored in the character of God. Every delay, every unanswered prayer, every moment of apparent inactivity is a test of commitment. Heaven's silence exposes where your heart is anchored. It separates those who follow God for blessings from those who follow Him for His presence. It forces you to look beyond temporary frustrations and to see the invisible hand that is still at work. You learn that God's timing is perfect, that His plans are higher, and that His wisdom surpasses human understanding. Faith cannot grow where everything is explained. Faith grows where trust is required. The silence is not neglect. It is a refining period, a time for alignment, a time to cultivate perseverance. Your breakthrough will come not to those who demand answers, but to those who remain steadfast when heaven appears silent. You are being trained to trust without seeing, to act without evidence, and to believe without a timetable. That is the mark of those who are ready for a sudden shift, because God only accelerates those whose faith is mature enough to carry the weight of unseen favor. Your obedience in small things is what triggers heaven's acceleration. God watches what you do when nobody is watching. Faithfulness is proven in the details, the seemingly insignificant choices, and the hidden actions. Many people long for sudden breakthroughs, dramatic promotion, or instant favor. yet they ignore the small disciplines that prepare them. God does not honor ambition without character. He does not release acceleration without obedience. Every act of integrity, every moment of patience, every choice to honor his principles, even when unnoticed, accumulates spiritual momentum. Obedience in small matters is like laying bricks for a house. One brick may seem inconsequential, but when added consistently, it builds structure capable of withstanding storms. Your prayers, your discipline, your consistent faithfulness in obscurity are the building blocks of the shift you are about to experience. Heaven accelerates for those who have proven trustworthy. Your willingness to do right when it is inconvenient, to honor God when it is uncomfortable, and to persevere when it is unseen demonstrates that you can carry more. Many people stumble when promotion comes because they were faithful in public but inconsistent in private. God accelerates those whose lives are aligned with his principles, even when the world is not watching. Obedience is not just ritual, it is preparation. It is what equips you to handle influence, responsibility, and the weight of sudden favor. You cannot skip the small things and expect God to entrust you with greater things. The unseen acts of faithfulness are what awaken divine favor. The consistency in the waiting season is what triggers acceleration. Every small step of obedience is like fuel being loaded into the engine of your destiny. When God sees alignment, consistency, and integrity, he releases sudden shifts that overwhelm the opposition. The acceleration comes not because of your visibility, your talent, or your connections, but because your obedience has positioned you perfectly to receive what heaven has already prepared. The pressure wasn't meant to crush you. It was meant to shape you. Pressure is not punishment. It is a process. Every difficulty, every challenge, every season of testing carries with it a hidden purpose. God allows pressure because he sees the potential inside you that the world cannot recognize. The very situations that feel unbearable are refining your character, strengthening your resolve, and stretching your faith. Pressure exposes weaknesses that need correction, but it also reveals strength that you never knew you had. Many people panic under pressure because they mistake it for rejection or failure, but pressure is actually preparation. The storms in your life are not signs that God has abandoned you. They are signals that he is crafting you for higher levels of responsibility. Without pressure, a person remains soft, untested, and unready for promotion. Pressure forces you to rely not on your own understanding, but on God's wisdom and guidance. It removes false confidence and builds true resilience. The situations that seem impossible are exactly what will become the launching pad for your breakthrough. God measures your capacity by how you respond when everything feels like it is closing in. The pressure you endure today is the very thing that will allow you to thrive when the sudden shift arrives. It teaches patience when waiting feels endless, discernment when choices seem unclear, and strength when weakness threatens to overwhelm. If you fight against pressure or resent it, you miss the opportunity to grow in the very areas that are essential for your next season. The process is deliberate, the shaping is intentional, and the result is inevitable: a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. Ready to carry the blessings that were previously beyond your reach. God closed doors you begged for because they would have limited your destiny. Sometimes what you see as rejection is actually redirection. God does not close doors to punish. He closes them to protect and to position you. Many people spend years fighting for opportunities that are not meant for them, only to discover that those doors would have led to compromise, limitation, or destruction. Every closed door has a purpose: to redirect you towards something better, something larger, something aligned with your ultimate calling. When God shuts a door, it is because he sees the bigger picture. The end result that you cannot yet comprehend, the timing, the people, the circumstances, all are orchestrated perfectly by divine wisdom. You may not understand why you were turned away, why your prayers seemed unanswered, or why your efforts produced no fruit, but God's perspective is eternal. He knows the opportunities that would have delayed your destiny, the relationships that would have hindered your growth, and the paths that would have compromised your potential. Every closed door is actually a form of protection, keeping you from what is convenient but not correct, from what is immediate but not eternal, from what is popular but not purposed. The frustration you feel is temporary. The alignment you are heading toward is permanent. God is not absent in your disappointment. He is actively directing your journey. The doors he allows to remain closed are positioning you for a sudden shift that will surpass anything you could have achieved on your own. When the right door finally opens, it will feel effortless, powerful, and divinely orchestrated, because every closed door along the way was preparing you for the moment you were about to enter. The season that almost made you quit is the season that qualified you. There are moments when life feels unbearable, when every effort seems wasted, and when your spirit screams to give up. These are not random moments of despair. They are the very seasons God uses to qualify you for the sudden shift he has prepared. Every tear shed, every sleepless night, every disappointment endured is part of a divine curriculum designed to strengthen your endurance, refine your character, and deepen your faith. The temptation to quit is the test of your resilience. Many people abandon their purpose just as the breakthrough is about to arrive. And the tragedy is that the very moment they walk away is the moment God was about to release their promotion. The hardships, the setbacks, and the rejections were never intended to defeat you. They were preparing you. Your persistence in the dark, your refusal to give up when everything seemed hopeless, your steadfastness in the face of opposition. These are what qualify you for elevation. The shift you are about to experience requires someone who has been forged by fire, tempered by trials, and strengthened through patience. If the season had been easy, if the journey had been smooth, you would not be ready for the magnitude of what is coming. The struggles are not obstacles. They are the anvil upon which your destiny is hammered into shape. God is not careless with your life. He is meticulous. He allows the difficult season to cultivate courage, wisdom, and discernment, so that when the breakthrough arrives, you are fully equipped to handle it. The season that almost broke you is the season that is producing resilience, stamina, and unshakable faith. Your obedience in obscurity is what triggers heaven's acceleration. God sees what nobody else sees. While the world measures success by visibility, applause, and recognition, heaven measures success by faithfulness in the hidden seasons. The small, consistent acts of obedience you perform when nobody is watching are what set the stage for sudden acceleration. Many people desire sudden favor, instant promotion, and immediate breakthroughs. Yet they neglect the disciplines, the consistency, and the integrity required to sustain it. Obedience in obscurity proves loyalty, builds character, and aligns your life with God's principles. Each small decision to honor God, each act of integrity, each moment of discipline accumulates spiritual momentum that cannot be measured by human eyes. When God sees alignment, consistency, and steadfastness in your private life, he releases acceleration in your public life. The sudden shift you are about to experience is not a result of luck or coincidence. It is a direct consequence of your hidden faithfulness. Heaven responds to consistency, not convenience. Acceleration comes to those who refuse to compromise, who remain steadfast when unnoticed, and who persevere when discouraged. Your hidden obedience builds an invisible foundation that supports visible favor. What appears small now becomes monumental when God releases the sudden shift. The unseen acts of faithfulness are what prepare your life for the responsibilities, opportunities, and blessings that are beyond your current capacity. Your consistency in the waiting season, your willingness to honor God in obscurity, your steadfast faith in the quiet moments, these are what awaken heaven's acceleration. And they are what will make your sudden shift undeniable, unstoppable, and divinely orchestrated. Thank you so much for watching today. I truly hope that what you heard has inspired you, challenged your thinking, and given you clarity about your financial journey. Remember, knowledge without action will never change your life, but the insights you gain here can be the spark that ignites transformation when applied consistently. I want to invite you to be an active part of this journey. If this content resonated with you, take a moment to like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments, and share it with friends, family, or anyone you know who is serious about learning, growing, and achieving financial freedom. Every comment, every share, every like is not just engagement. It's support that helps this channel grow, reach more people, and create a community centered on learning, empowerment, and wealth building. This channel is brand new, and our mission is bold to bring you the timeless wisdom of financial masters like Jim Rohn, combined with inspiration and practical strategies that you can implement immediately. We are committed to helping you navigate the world of finance with confidence, discipline, and clarity. So join us, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video that could change your life. Together with my team, and inspired by the teachings of great mentors, we will continue to bring you content that motivates, educates, and equips you to take control of your financial destiny. Your support today will help us grow this platform and reach thousands who are ready to transform their lives through financial education and actionable strategies.